You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat, the pulse of Americana, with your beautiful bearded host, Zach Walker. Alabama's best no-holds-barred, constitutionally conservative, Christ-centered talk radio. If that don't fire you up, your wood's wet. Now, it's time for your bearded host, Zach Walker.
Good morning. Welcome in, Hometown Heartbeat, Boomer in the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. Today is a sad day. Yesterday was the day we saw the Republic die. Today's a sad day. We saw all kinds of nonsense in the Capitol. We saw ignorance by everyone. We saw just all kinds of craziness, and I just looked at my wife last night and I said, I'm just ashamed to be an American today. Just ashamed to be an American. Hopefully that will fade. But for today, it has not. And so we'll talk about that a little bit. We're not going to talk about it much because I don't want to. And that's the beauty of having your own show, is you don't have to talk about stuff you don't want to. So we'll probably give it a segment or so and just kind of chat through that. But outside of that, you know, it's funny. Tommy Tuberville gets sworn in, and the Capitol's defense immediately falls apart. So, yeah, Auburn joke. Anybody get that? There you go. Somebody's laughing. Somebody's laughing. There it is. Heard you. There it is. Let's get the team on the field and go ahead and get this thing fired up and kicked off. What's up, Boomer?
Let's go. Got to be on.
Yeah, sorry. Hold on. There you are.
There you go. Good morning.
I just want. It's not even. The day's not even good enough for me to give you your intro today.
Yeah, it's not a good day, but I would say I don't necessarily feel like ashamed to be American, because I wouldn't consider necessarily what they did yesterday was American. We just live in a country where idiots are given platforms.
But those were Americans.
Yeah, I get that, but
which makes me ashamed.
Yeah, but it's like if it was 1,000, there's 370 million Americans, so can't let the small minority necessarily take away. It's just those jackasses did something stupid yesterday, but we've been having jackasses do stupid stuff for years.
Yeah,
or this for a while here lately, it seems like. So it's just they got a platform, and what it reminds me of is the one thing that I hate in football is when you have two players fight and you have offsetting 15-yard penalties. There's no consequences for anyone. And people did that yesterday because there was no fear of any kind of consequence.
Yeah, it was definitely – I don't know. I used to live 10 minutes outside of the Capitol. I've been to the Capitol many times. I've been in D.C. a ton. I've never seen the Capitol without armed machine gun toting. There's no way they just compromised the police force like that. Like they didn't just walk through.
And quickly.
No, I mean they were let in. Police were told to stand down. There was something mischievous was about. No question about that. Yeah. Donald Trump, this is your fault. Just want to tell you that. And when I say this is your fault, I don't mean the riot is your fault. What I mean is, if you would have recognized 4 years ago that being mean on Twitter was not your best attribute, if you would have just calmed down just a little bit and been a little bit more palatable, you'd had 87 million votes. Straight up. If you would have just been a little bit less mean. I'm not saying you didn't have to. I mean, you had to be establishment. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying be a little bit less mean. Just a little bit. And you would have won by a landslide. You probably did win by a landslide, but that's neither here nor there. Tom on line 2. Early. We've got him fired up early this morning. Tom, how are you?
Hang on, my friend. Let me give it up. Your phone here. All right, bet. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today?
We're good, Tom.
Good.
How are you?
Oh, yeah. Today's a sad day. Yeah. I normally message in, but today I figured I'd call. now that we've established that the soft coup has in full play, and now we're learning facial recognition shows that the majority of the people that stormed the Capitol were Antifa. And there are a couple of Secret Service people who are coming out now saying that not all the cops at D.C. were cops, but hired Secret Service. And they actually have video of them letting them in the Capitol.
I did see that video.
Can we? Yeah, it's out there. Go look for it. It's out there. Now that we have established that, the coup is in full swing. The Insurrection Act is still a play out there, but that's another conversation for another day. We have now entered basically either the end of the worldwide experiment in liberty, or we've entered the first phase of the next civil war. That's really just where we are. We have three classes of people in the country. We have patriots, we have tyrants, and we have the sheep in the middle.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, I don't.
Sorry.
You're good.
There's emotion. Emotion's fine right now.
No, thank you, Tom, for your call. And Tom he's a avid listener. Messages in every single day. Is always a part of the show. Not what I expect him to sound like, but welcome in, Tom. I hope you'll call more often. But let's get Sandee Lou in here. I haven't said anything to her. Let's get Connor in here. Not our typical morning. Not our typical intros all the way around. So. Get everyone on the field here, so everyone welcome in. But it is not. Tom, I think you're wrong a little bit. I don't believe this was all Antifa. I believe there were absolutely. I let off the show. This was absolutely instigated by those who would wish to do President Trump harm. I would say that to be a fact. Think about it, folks. Just use a little common sense. What is the best thing that could happen to hurt Donald Trump? What happened yesterday?
Yeah.
Every Republican conservative in the world sat here and watched what went down yesterday, saying, well, there it goes. That's the end of it. That's the end of his bid to be president. That's the end of what happened yesterday. Ended, like, Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States, period.
Yeah, done.
It's over. And I don't know that, I mean, look, God is sovereign in this too. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. God is sovereign in this. Whoever is installed as leader is done so for a purpose. Romans is very clear. So, I don't think we're at the end. I don't think we're at the end of the experiment called freedom or whatever, however you phrase that, Tom. I think that this is a period in history where we will look back on it at one point or another and say, there's a book called Pendulums out there. It starts all the way back in the Bible and comes all the way to present day, talking about the tides of history and the swing from left to right and right to left and left to right. And those swings are wide arced. They're far-reaching. They are extreme in nature. It is not abnormal for the country to swing from a far left to a far right and then back. So, if nothing else, have faith and hope in Almighty God above all things and let it be so. Because we're not going to do anything about it. Not right now.
Amen and a woman.
There. Perfect. Will restaurants eat from menus or women use?
Mm-hmm.
Is it menstruation or womenstration?
Okay, so since you're not going to introduce me, I'm going to go ahead
and
just jump in here.
No, I
tell
did.
You.
I did.
No, it was just sort of like, let's check in with Sandee.
Well, I did that for everyone this morning, so don't feel left out.
So
that's how everybody got introduced.
This is what I'm going to say. I totally agree with Tom. 110%.
That's a shocker.
Because, and you can say what you want to. Honest to goodness, you can say what you want to, but honest to goodness, I believe what Tom said. The left has got a huge tie and connection with Antifa. And Antifa had planned on doing certain things to instigate anger, resentment, hatred, because that's what they stand for. And that's exactly what they did. And they were allowed to do it. And thus, we have it looking like it was Trump supporters.
That's exactly what I just said, by the way. Yeah. That is literally exactly what I just said.
So then you should agree that it was 100% Antifa.
No, that is not accurate. I said it was led by and instigated by, and I think that's true. But there are plenty of. I mean, I was supposed to be there yesterday. Like, I've got multiple friends that are up there that would tell you that absolutely it was instigated by Antifa or the like, but that many. Look, there's a bunch of dumb rednecks running around, love Trump, and not smart enough to not follow somebody into it. I'll be honest with you. If I was there yesterday.
People can afford to go to Washington, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Go to break. We'll go to break. When we come back, we'll change the subject because we're obviously not going to be able to get anything done talking about this one. So you're listening to Boomer and the Beard. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
In any home, cabinets are an instrumental part of your design. So, when you open your current cabinets, what instrument do they play? Wouldn't you rather they sounded like this? They can. It just takes one call to us.
Cabinet Express Online, North Alabama's premier cabinet supplier. Whether you want a complete custom kitchen or some of our RTA line, at Cabinet Express Online, you will get the most value out of your hard-earned money every time. Are you looking for framed or frameless? Either way, in no time at all, your dream kitchen can be a reality. And the only place you should trust to bring that dream to life is Cabinet Express Online. Schedule your free design consultation today with Cabinet Express Online. Call 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355. And online at CabinetExpressOnline.com. Design your custom kitchen today with Cabinet Express Online.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Buy one MyPillow, get one MyPillow free. Call 800-889-7318 or go to MyPillow.com. Click on radio specials and use code BEARD at checkout.
Are you tired? You suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrative Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrative Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
Come on. boom. Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, bold, beautiful, boisterous, bedazzled bearded host. So happy that you've decided to join us this morning and each and every morning. New website, boomerandbeard.com. How about that? Boomer and Beard. Spell out the word and. I will get emails set up for the team today so that if you want to email Miss Sandy Lou, you can do so. If you want to email Mr. Boomer, you can. If you want to email Mr. Connor, you can. You won't be able to email me, but no, I'm kidding. I'll get that set up so you can interact with us. You can tell Sandy that she's right. You can tell me that I'm an idiot. You can tell us. So whatever you want to tell us, however you want to tell us, I'm going to get that set up. So there's that. I will say that if you look around out there on the old interweb, you see old Davy Crockett on acid? You see that guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, I just...
You know who he is? He's a well-known Antifa fellow.
Yes.
Very well-known. What is that headdress he wears?
I don't know.
You think Davy Crockett on acid is a pretty good descriptive...
That would be...
If Davy Crockett did acid, is that what he would look like?
Yeah, I think both of you are right. I think that, yes, Antifa started some crazy stuff.
Absolutely.
And did some stuff. But I do believe the true problem that we have
come on with it.
Is these people are giving a platform. The minority is given a platform, and it seems like they're the majority. But the one thing that I look at, and I step out, and we've kind of talked about this on the show, and it's been kind of funny. I've noticed some of the stuff that's been on some of our social media where people have made comments about, you're bringing your faith in it too much, or you're talking about
leave
God
Jesus out of it,
talking about God a little too much. And the one thing that I look at right now, and you have to try to focus in on, is we have to put God in the middle of this. And we have to, for anyone that's listening right now that's not a Christian and thinks they don't want to hear about us talking about too much, look at the core principles. Don't even talk about what you have to do to commit, by giving your life to Jesus or whatever, but loving one another, forgiving one another, treating your neighbor as yourself. When your enemy strikes against you, you forgive them. Mm-hmm. Chastity and I were talking about last night. She's been having some personal issues that I won't go on the radio. We just had some, just some family some stuff happen. Yeah. And she is the one that lashes out and is ready to beep, beep, you cuss, want to just, go. And I just step back and I go, you don't win. You're not going to win in that.
Where I landed on all this yesterday evening, I didn't watch. You called me in the afternoon and said, "Are you watching all this stuff?"
When it broke loose, I thought, "Here it goes,"
And I was not watching anything. I was fishing, and I chose to get away from everything. I had seen some images and some video coming out of the Capitol, and I said, "I'm not doing this today." And I said, "Get away from me, Satan!" And I went and got my fishing poles, and I went and I stood on the pond bank, and I fished for 2.5 hours without catching a thing, and didn't even care about it. When I got home last night, I got on Facebook for the first time in a few hours, and what I saw was exactly what the people want and the people in power want. The highest level of division that I've ever seen in my entire 33, almost 34 years on this earth. People like Sandee and I, who are very, very similar in a lot of ways and would agree on most everything when it comes to political, being split apart, being torn apart by a variation of a truth or whatever. People like me and Humad, somebody who very much is different than us, being pushed even further apart. I want you guys to understand something. This is what they want. Think with me for a moment about what makes more sense. Donald Trump supporters running up in the Capitol demanding that they overturn just showing their frustration, whatever it is. Imagine, just go with me here.
Shirtless and in a Viking helmet.
Yeah. Davy Crockett on acid, running around with bull horns.
Yeah.
Well, is it more likely that those are just ardent Donald Trump supporters? Or is it more likely that those in power wish to keep it? The most damaging thing that could happen to Donald Trump is what happened yesterday. And those, and I know this is going to be really uncomfortable for a lot of you out there, but establishment Republicans and Democrats alike that have interest in getting Donald Trump out, the swamp, as he calls it, making sure that the most damaging thing that could ever happen to Donald Trump were to happen. What's more likely? Bunch of ardent Donald Trump supporters running up in the Capitol trying to light stuff on fire, or there being an attack on the Republic orchestrated by those in power.
Yeah.
I just think about it.
And the thing to, that's not going to change. That's kind of what I was talking about, like when I was talking to Chastity last night, and when you talk about like your faith, the people who are trying to stir stuff up are not going to stop stirring stuff up.
Mm-mm.
That person who doesn't like you, that person who doesn't agree with you or whatever, they're not going to change. The only thing you can do is control what you do and how you react. And I think that's where we've got to come as a country and as whatever, is that, I texted back and forth and actually called my oldest son, who's really into stuff right now. And he was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I was like, we're going to
go about our business.
Yeah, we're going to do what we did yesterday. We're going to love everybody.
Yep.
We're going to make sure our family's doing good, and we are going to do the best we can to be a light to the world. Because right now it is dark. It is. We're walking around with black lights right now with rave glow sticks.
No, you're right.
It is crazy. And if we don't come up and just say, you know what, as crazy as those Antifa people are, I just can't let them change my soul. As crazy as a Black Lives Matter group is, I cannot let that person get me angry. I've got to come back and say, you know what? You do what you want to do, but I wake up today and I'm going to treat you right. And I'm going to love you, and I'm going to go vote, and I'm going to still have the same beliefs I have, but we're going to have to, like you've always say, it's the cull the nuts. We got to cull the nuts more now than ever.
I just wish conservatives that are so mad right now would get actually engaged in the political machine. Like, get actually engaged in finding a candidate and campaigning for candidates. In activism. Get it. Become an activist. Get involved. But ultimately, what's really sad, I think a lot of people yesterday made comments on social media that are going to greatly regret. I saw a pastor make one of the most baseless posts I've ever seen, probably. It was I'll put it this way. I lost respect for him as a pastor when I saw his post. And within 30 minutes, it was down and an apology was issued. And he's a very wise, very patient, very slow to act kind of a person. And he just... So there's a lot of raw emotion running around right now on every side. There's a lot of... it's just a crazy time. And
that emotion is okay.
Yes.
It's just we have to be careful of not letting that emotion take us into, and like I said, it's the godly thing. It's to not take us into the area of sinning.
Yes.
I'm going back to my conversation with Chad. When I woke up this morning, I was like, how weird is it we had this conversation for the last week, but it's just like someone can say something to you and be right in your face and say you the worst thing about your mom or whatever, and you have to be able to go and say, man, I'm praying for you. Instead of punching them in the throat, because the punch them in the throat
always feels better.
It always feels better, but man, it is going to haunt you for a long time, and it will not make the situation better. Like right now, the thing that I worry most about our country is the polarized are more polarized than ever, and the person that is against Black Lives Matter or whatever group that is, they are more against it than they've ever been.
Yep.
The people who are against the Donald Trump people, they are more against him than they've ever been. And it's like, okay, how do we get somewhat back? It's not the time. Democrats, if you're listening and you're liberal, hey, it's going that way. It's Joe Biden. You've got control of the Senate. You've got control of the House. But if you think the right time right now is to do a victory dance, you're a fool.
Yeah.
And Republicans and Donald Trump people, if you think it's the right time right now to stand up and go, well, we're going to come get you, then you're a fool too.
Yeah.
It's not the time.
No, civility is out the window in a lot of cases. I don't know. It's a very interesting time. We'll talk more about it when we return. Boomer and the Beard. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Hours after an angry pro-Trump mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, Congress has confirmed Joe Biden is the winner of the 2020 presidential election. Shortly after Mike Pence announced it, President Trump issued a statement promising an orderly transition of power. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser says it's too late for that.
Sadly, it led to a loss of life that will forever stain what could have been and what should have been a peaceful transfer of power.
Those Trump supporters made their way up the Capitol steps, bashed in doors and windows, and got onto the floor of both the House and the Senate. ABC's Trish Turner was inside.
I can't tell you what a scary feeling it is. The protesters have made it to the third floor above the Senate chamber, and they're not far from us. I have colleagues who are holding up in the hideaway offices of some senators.
Pipe bombs found at both the DNC and the RNC. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Karen's a quilter.
Karen's Quality Quilts. Quality custom quilts quickly.
How's the quilting business, Karen?
Kind of quiet. My quest to quadruple my quilting sales has created a quagmire.
Can I be candid, Karen?
Okay.
You need a website that can encompass the quality of your quilts.
I know quilts, but I know no computers. They're confusing.
But there are people who know coding like you know quilting.
Who's that?
I'm glad you asked. Web Underdog creates websites that don't just catch the eye, they catch customers. And they're as user-friendly for you as they are for your clients. We build high-quality, clean, well-coded, custom designs for organizations of all sizes that are affordable, professional, and specially made for your brand and visitors. Outside of responsive web design, Web Underdog also offers search engine optimization, website management, and so much more. Give your business the professional touch and contact Web Underdog for a free web design quote. Call 256-998-0667. That's 998-0667 and online at webunderdog.com. Web Underdog, your local web design and SEO agency.
You go as hard as you can. And then a little harder.
And it was like I stepped funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I could barely walk on it.
Okay, let's take a look.
At Lang Chiropractic, we'll help your sports performance and your overall health by improving your range of motion, flexibility, relieving inflammation, and so much more. Focusing to improve your health and wellness in all areas of your life. Whether you're having trouble with back pain, neck pain, or just want to start feeling better when you wake up in the morning, Dr. David Lang is focused on a whole person approach, finding those underlying causes and creating a personalized plan for your individual needs. Schedule your visit by calling 256-444-1600. That's 444-1600 at Lang Chiropractic on Highway 72 East in Athens in the Publix Shopping Center. Visit us online at langchiropracticcenter.com. Lang Chiropractic, we've got your back. Come see us today.
It's your news now. WVNN. Depend on it.
I was raised in a small town. In a small town. Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, the big, beautiful bearded host. Your favorite, the best, the smartest morning radio show Producer Connor, how are you, buddy?
Distraught, devastated. There are a lot of words.
Distraught, devastated. Words I would have never used at 17. You're a different kid, though. What are you feeling right now, buddy?
A lot.
Let's work through it.
It's just something I never thought I'd see, really. And what's been playing on loop in my head since hearing it was the video that the president released on Twitter yesterday. I'm sure you both saw it. And regardless of who you think is responsible for all of this nonsense or whatever, regardless, the fact that the president went on Twitter and said into the camera, "We love you," in response to all that, just
yeah,
there were no words. I wanted to vomit.
Not his best moment there, and it's hard to talk your way out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and that really throws a wrinkle in the Antifa argument too, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not that it throws a wrinkle in it. It's just it's all.
But it does in a way.
It's all there.
Yeah, I mean, it does in a way.
It's all
because
on the table.
If I was Donald Trump in yesterday's situation, what I would have been doing was distancing myself as quickly as possible. These are not Donald Trump supporters. These are not people that I would never condone this behavior. We are going to, even if you want to say I'm still going to be the president for you, we are going to take back this presidency the legal way. We are not because how many of us have we've been saying this since this whole thing started. 74 million Americans voted for Donald Trump. They're angry. Ain't one city been burned to the ground yet. We're not rioting nowhere. Right? And so what he should have been doing immediately, as soon as it went down, distancing himself very quickly from all of it. Mm-hmm. I don't condone this. I don't. Yeah. We love you.
Well, to Connor's thing, what I would say, and I kind of, because I've not necessarily been a fan of Trump, but I think he's done a lot of great things. But we're always remembered by the last thing. If this is we kind of talked about just a second ago, this is the ultimate tit for tat, where what I saw on social media yesterday were people, making posts of like, if you think it was okay for the riots and all the cities and the burning down, whatever, you were okay with that, but you're not okay with this and you're a hypocrite. So, I mean, there was all this fighting back and forth. I think right now, if I was Donald Trump, I would be kind of like, you're kind of I don't know how to compare it. But it'd be kind of like a spouse who's been like the greatest husband in the world, but then slapped his wife. You can't go, but I was such a great husband. You messed up, and you got to pay for those mistakes. And like I said, I think the Trump, as far as him as a person or his family, I mean, and really honestly, anybody that probably comes out now and says I'm still a hardcore Trump supporter, that's not the best path for you right now. He made a mistake. Leaders make mistakes. We need to move forward. But yeah, he did not dismount well yesterday at all. And I think what it does just gives validity to everything they're saying.
Yeah.
You can't give, in an argument, you can't give people, if they think you're an irrational lunatic that lashes out in anger and you lash out in anger, you've given them, yeah, you're probably right. He is. I don't know. It's the emotion is as raw as it comes, and like we said, and with Sandee, her emotion is real. It's valid.
Absolutely,
your emotion's real and valid. Mine, Zach, anybody. I mean, and that's the one thing too. I know we don't want to go into a show, but of talking about it. But I mean, if people want to share their raw emotion, I don't think you need to get into the blame game. I think we just need to get into like, okay, it's hit the fan. Somebody pooped in the pool. We got to get out of the pool. It's we've got to figure out, okay, what's next? How do we move forward? It's got to be unity. If we're not bringing us together, if a Democrat gets on and pounces on this, probably not the best idea. Like right now, Trump's irrelevant now. It's over. It's done. going in and saying what he's done or he caused this or who caused it. It doesn't matter. It's happened. The fight has happened. Now we got to say, okay, how do we repair this? How do we move forward in this? Yeah. Is it just bashing each side like we've done for God knows how long? And if you're a Republican, you're a whack job Christian who has no say, and you're a cult, and all you care about is guns and ending abortion. And then you got the other side where it's, well, if you're a Democrat or a liberal, then you're all about this. Just quit. It's not Alabama and Auburn.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. No, that is exactly right there. Let's go. Let's check in 866-494-9866 if you guys want to join us and chime in on the old18.com hotline. 866-494-9866. Carl from Athens. Carl, go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call. First of all, did not Biden tell us that these would be our darkest days? It tells us something, and one thing I've learned is that to be in a crowd, you never know what's going to happen, even in a crowd in church. But the biggest problem I think that we're having is that we as Christians have fallen away. We are not standing up for what's right. We are at each other. We disagree with each other. We have black Christians attacking white Christians and so forth. So if we can't be together as Christians in unity, how do we think the world is going to be? You look back at when Jesus was put on trial in that crowd, didn't they have people in the middle saying, "Free Barabbas"? So, you're going to have people in a crowd to do just that in these days when you are, as Christians, divided. So the church needs to come together and go with unity as God desires.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
That's exactly right. That's a good word, Carl. Thank you for that. Billy on line 4. Go ahead, Billy.
Thank you. I believe what the country needs to do is the first step is Republicans pull out all their money and put it in safe investments. Second step is succeed from the union, because I don't see myself wanting to be a part of a union that's going to support the things that he wants to support, the murder of babies and also transgenders and everything he wants to support. I believe we have a choice. We've been doing the wrong. We've done the vote. Everybody says just go out and vote, vote, vote. Nobody says go out and teach like Jesus Christ said to do. And that's the reason when you have a football team and you only have one mission is to go long, you're going to lose, because the other side has a lot. They have a whole playbook.
Yeah. No,
thank you.
No, I hear what you're saying completely. I would definitely say that there is a middle ground. And thanks for the call. But there is a middle ground between seceding and all that.
And I'm not sure. It seems like we're going to go, but we say it. Jesus is in the middle of this whole thing. The one thing that I love the most about being a Christian, and what I think is the coolest thing about being a Christian, and I fall into it, where I will go. I'm against abortion. I'm against this. But the one thing that I think that's so amazing about God is, name any situation you've been in where the person says, go do whatever you want to do. I'm going to love you anyway. And when you figure out that what you're doing is wrong, you're going to come back and I'm not going to be any different. That doesn't happen in any relationship you have. So, like, I don't think we should secede. I don't think that I think this is the raw emotion. Like I said, say what you want, but I think that we're going to be okay.
To be clear, though, the gospel is not do what you want to do and then I'll be here when you return.
No, but what I'm saying is he doesn't force you into some situation. And I'm not saying, but
sure.
He's going to love you no matter whether you're a Christian or not.
Yes.
There's going to be repercussions and consequences
Absolutely.
for decisions you make. Now, don't get me wrong in that. Not saying do what you want to do, but he's not going to just force you to do a certain thing. He's going to sit back and be, you do what you do, but this is the right way.
Yeah.
I may have said that wrong or whatever, but it's these people have decisions, and you got to make your decisions, and you're responsible for your decisions.
Yeah.
And I think that we are now seeing the response of decisions that we've made for a while in this country.
We've said it on the show many times. We deserve we're getting what we deserve in a lot of ways. We really are. So thank you for the calls. 866-494-9866 if you want to join us. 866-494-WVNN. This is Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
My great-great-aunt Bertha May had certain words she would not let us say at the dinner table. Nowadays, if you're a government contractor, CMMC is one of those words. Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification. It's where you've got to be in the DoD world if you want to bid and win government contracts. 256-975-4758. My friends at Simple Helix, look, they're not afraid, and they can show you a cost-effective path to becoming CMMC compliant. What that means, they're going to help you navigate the process. They're going to make a plan, and they're going to get you to those big government contracts you need. Give my friends at Simple Helix a call today at 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
What's better than pizza? That's right, nothing. Well, maybe except for the many ways you can eat it. I like thinner crust. Oh, and with a side of ranch.
I'll take mine with a pretty crazy assortment of toppings. Thousands. With a side of wings. Hot ones.
Pizza. It's a beautiful thing and found all over the world. But for your slice of the pie here locally, you want to try Donato's Pizza in Madison. Enjoy our famous pizzas loaded with edge-to-edge toppings, 100 slices of pepperoni, the family recipe sausage, fresh hand-cut veggies, and premium cheeses like our aged smoked provolone. You'll notice the Donato's difference. But why stop there? We also offer subs, calzones, wings, and desserts. Don't keep eating those same old leftovers. Make tonight a Donato's night with Donato's Pizza on Madison Boulevard in Madison. Call 256-772-6789. That's 772-6789. And online at Donatos.com. Donato's Pizza, where every piece is important.
Where is your haircut gone? We know you don't get out as much. You don't drive by your regular sport clips and pop in for that MVP haircut experience that is so much more than a haircut. But isn't it worth getting out for? For that legendary hot steam towel for your face, massaging shampoo that makes you melt into your seat. Oh man, you remember that, right? We found your haircut. It's right where you left it. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
The talk station in Alabama, WVNN. Depend on it.
Maybe we should have been more superstitious about what happened yesterday. Huh? If you'd have worn your lucky underwear, maybe the Capitol wouldn't have been stormed. Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. Purcell Lumber Custom Millwork is a proud sponsor of Hometown Heartbeat, Boomer and the Beard. We're so thankful that you guys support our sponsors and our show. Give them a call if you have any projects. You're building a house. You've got a Pinterest project your wife wants you to do, whatever it is, 256-232-6320 or Purcell Lumber and Millshop.com. They're on Clinton Street in Athens, and tell them the Beard sent you. So we've got a phone full of phone calls, and Boomer was sitting here saying, "How do you?"
Well, I remember real quick. So I work for Dave Ramsey for
name drop.
Yeah, I work for Dave Ramsey, and September 11th was a horrible day, and Dave was a big, it show's a financial show. And here we're coming into work, and there's 2 planes flying into buildings in New York, and he's like, how do I go on the radio today and talk about your 401k, or how do I go and talk about this when there's such an elephant in the room you have to discuss? And they had a meeting, and they said, what do we do? And Dave made the decision of just open up the phones and just letting people have their raw emotion.
Get it out.
And I think as we take calls, if you're listening or whatever, not that I'm being the guy here that's saying it all, but your emotions, don't let your emotions be what makes your talk right now. Even though it is there, but I think coming in and saying seceding and our forefathers and the people who started our country came up with great ways because they saw all of this. Yes. They saw the Boston Tea Party. They saw all of these things. And the voting and the processes and the things they put in place, they will work.
The process of redressing our government.
They will work it out.
Yes.
And now more than ever, if you're an American, coming up in 2 years, you're going to have an opportunity to, like we said, if you don't like what's going on, you got to vote.
And Sandee Lou and I are both very emotional people.
Yes, and and Sandee, and I love you to death. I love Zach to death, and I think both of you are 100% right in your emotions and your reactions. I think this.
Well, we don't have to agree about everything.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we don't. And if we all agreed, it'd be a boring talk show.
Yeah, and it's to me. This reminds me, like, I remember my brother and I. We were definite years apart. We were 13 years apart. And my mother, one time, me and my brother got into a fight, and he was 13 years older than me, and she said, both of you go to your rooms.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And it was the most, gutting thing because it was like, what? He was wrong. And no, but he did this to me, and it's like, no, you're going to go sit in silence, and you and your brain are going to work this out.
Sandee Lou, I love you. I love you, Sandee Lou.
I love you, Zach.
I love you.
But we have people waiting on the phone.
I know, and they'll wait until we
want
talk
to hear
to
from you
they
too.
Don't want to hear all this lovey sappy crap.
No, but
but they do want to hear you talk.
Yeah, we need you.
Well, here I am. Hey.
Here I am, listening to the phone calls, talking to the people on the phone.
Who do we go to first?
Guys that are
line one,
on
Carrie.
call, I'm so sorry.
Carrie, line one. Carrie, line one. What do you got for us, Carrie?
Hey, you know what? I think this is our opportunity to make America even better. I hope we all get engaged. I hope we start praying. I hope this brings us back closer to God. And it's just time to be better.
No, that is a good word, and you can tell the emotions are real in this country right now for everyone. But you know what we need to do? We need to fall on our knees and lift up our praises, our worries, our concerns to a holy God, and know that He is present in all of this. And the Bible says very clearly, all things will point to the glory of God. This will do the same if we will allow that to happen. Let's go to Zach on line 5. Zach on line 5. Hey, man, you got a good name. That's a good name there. What you got for me?
I appreciate that. I just wanted to say I'm an Oklahoma native, and what James Lankford did yesterday after all that happened to come out and pull out of what he, was opposed was, very noble. We've got to come together, and for him to do what he did was just, it made me proud to be an Oklahoman. Like, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, it doesn't matter. We're in this together. So I was just really glad to hear him say that, and I would hope that more people would come together like that.
Yeah, and the quote from him is, today is a sad day for our country. The destruction and violence at our nation's capital is an assault on democracy. We thank men and women of the U.S. Capitol Police for working to restore peace. The action at the Capitol are indefensible and are not supported by the vast majority of Trump supporters. That's a true statement. We must rise above violence. We must and will have a peaceful and orderly transition of power. The violent action of these rioters severely damages efforts to restore confidence in our elections. We will continue our calls to examine election integrity through all legal and peaceful means. We now need the entire Congress to come together and vote to certify the election results. We must stand together as Americans. We must defend our Constitution and rule of law. Thank you for the call, Zach. We won't hold it against you that you're from Oklahoma, but go Spencer Rattler. Let's go to Mike on line 4. Mike on line 4. What do you got for us, Mike?
Good morning. I got a little confusion here. Boomer was talking about condemning Trump for saying he loved those people and then turned around and praised Jesus for saying he loved those people. Seemed to me like Trump was pretty clear in condemning the violence and supporting law and order. What's wrong with him saying that he loves those people anyways?
Well, hold on. This is Boomer.
Mike.
This is Boomer, and that was Connor who had said that he was upset at what Trump had said.
And I echoed that,
yeah.
and you echoed that.
But what I'm saying is
different type of love.
Yeah.
Different type of love. And different what's the word? Motive. Different ambition, different agenda, if you will. The love that Jesus offers to each and every one of us is not. Men are not capable of it. It is a grace-filled type of love that is not something that we as mortal men can offer to one another because we're not Christ.
Right.
And so I appreciate your call, Mike, but
I think with President Trump, I loved everybody that was there yesterday.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't have said it on Twitter.
No, well, his timing. Sometimes the timing is something that President Trump has lacked since the beginning.
Yeah.
Since the beginning. Yeah. And in that situation yesterday, he didn't have to come out and condemn everybody. He could just said, hey, look, if you broke into the Capitol building yesterday and you did it with my red hat or my Trump flag or whatever, I do not believe in anything that you did.
Yes.
That was not my message. That is not what I wanted.
And look, I get the intellectual bankruptcy of all this. I really do. Yeah. I put a post out yesterday on our page that said the definition of intellectual bankruptcy is watching liberals don't know who to support because they can't. Let's see. Liberals not knowing if they should side with cops, whom they hate, or the people clashing with police, whom they hate, all from some moral high ground, acting like they didn't spend the majority of 2020 burning U.S. cities to the ground. So I get it. I get the moral bankruptcy, the intellectual bankruptcy, and all of this. But as Christians, we're not supposed to sink down to their level. We're not supposed. We should always condemn violence. We should always love. And by the way, that's love for everyone. That's love for Antifa. That's love for Nancy Pelosi. That's love for all of those people. Donald Trump would not say he loved Nancy Pelosi.
No.
So there's the difference.
Yeah.
Right there. But thank you for your call. And Connor, Connor was right. Connor is experiencing something new for the first time. If I was a young man, I would be so disappointed in my country right now. I mean, I am disappointed, but it's almost like I've seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? And so,
well, he's not experiencing the stuff that we,
no.
Even you, and then me,
totally
even older,
different.
Is you're not experiencing the love for a country that is amazing.
9/11, Sammy Sosa rounding the bases, holding a flag.
Yeah.
That kind of patriotism and love. I mean, Connor's never seen that because in his lifetime, there's never been that level of patriotism and love for this country. What do you got, Connor?
I became, maybe like cognizant of media right around the time of the 2008 financial crash, which I think is about
when it turned.
Yeah, when everything turned.
Let's go to Dan from Madison on line 3. Dan from Madison, how are you, buddy?
Well, it's difficult to deal with this. I think we're all on the same page that we don't condone violence. You know that. But I'm kind of concerned. First off, the weird thing this morning is that I'm turning on my TV and I got Hulu, and I'm going to every news channel, and it's all kind of messed up. It's like they say there's an error. And it'll come on for like maybe 30 seconds, and then it'll go back to being an error. It's crazy. I don't know. There's something going on here. And I don't want to be a conspiracy kind of guy, but
Hillary
something's going on. So Hulu, I don't know what's going on, but you got to stop it. But anyway,
your internet connection
with
sucks.
That said, something's going on. But anyway, I agree with you, Zach, and the rest of you guys there. This is a perfect time for us to get closer, more involved in God, because I believe your inner soul and the way you feel about life in general is really kind of shaky now because you see what you see. But you know what? God's consistent. He'll never leave you. I'm not a super religious guy. I'm a Catholic, okay? But I'll tell you what. I see what I see, and the only thing that soothes my soul is God.
Come on with it, Dan. Preach, baby. Thank you for calling us this morning. And we want to continue to hear from you. 866-494-9866. 866-494-WVNN. We don't really know how to continue this morning. We don't really know how to move forward, and so we just want to, if you're like Carrie and your soul is hurting, your heart is broken this morning, give us a call. Even if you're like Mike, even though we disagree with you, we promise to be civil and just give you a platform to get out whatever it is you got on your mind right now. Give us a call. We'll be right back.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station. It's 6 o'clock. News starts now.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. A day of cleaning up and asking a lot of questions following the takeover by that pro-Trump mob on Capitol Hill.
What happened here today was an insurrection incited by the President of the United States.
Republican Senator Mitt Romney of Utah. Shortly after police secured the Capitol building, Congress declared Joe Biden the winner of the 2020 election.
After chaos and violence at the Capitol, lawmakers worked through the night. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's electoral win certified officially. President Trump issuing a statement through an aide on Twitter saying, even though I totally disagree with the outcome of the election, nevertheless, there will be an orderly transition on January 20th.
ABC's Lana Moise, the mayor of Washington, D.C., says it's too late for that. 4 people dead in the violence at the Capitol, including one woman who was with a group shot at by police. ABC's Megan Terizian.
In the House chamber, armed guards desperately using furniture to block the doors. Lawmakers forced to take cover, diving under chairs. One woman trying to make her way to the House chamber by jumping through a broken window was shot once in the neck by police. She was rushed into an ambulance but later died. She's been identified as Ashley Babbitt, an Air Force veteran who had high-level security access during her time in the service. Her husband calling her a strong Trump supporter and patriot.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar says she will drop articles of impeachment against President Trump, and ABC News has learned there's been discussion among the Trump cabinet of invoking the 25th Amendment, a vehicle by which the president can be removed from office.
I'm not surprised to hear that these conversations are active. It would, in some ways, be a more direct route if there's genuine concern with what might unfold in the next 2 weeks than pursuing impeachment.
ABC News legal contributor Kate Shaw. 3 White House staffers have resigned following the violence. Lawmakers are vowing an investigation into how police handled the breach. Many say it raises serious security concerns just 2 weeks before the inauguration of Joe Biden. This is ABC News.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. It's the collectors. It's those credit cards you ran up trying to start your business. Now you found out that a DBA hurts the family and brings the pain home.
Do you remember hearing these commercials on radio? For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Take advantage of numerous tax write-offs only available to a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, or call 800-490-4140 to find out more about his secrets to success in helping fix and improve your credit. Go to rayswebinar.com at 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. Monday through Friday and check out his free, very informative webinar, or call 800-490-4140 now. It's worth your time and you'll learn a lot. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back. That same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me? I said, don't worry, kid, I got you. Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for one low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
When people walk through our doors, they all see something different.
A tree house.
Our dream home.
Our cabin in the woods.
A new golf course community.
When you have every conceivable building material imaginable in place, the possibilities are limitless.
Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop. Let us bring your home improvement project to life. The best products and name brands in residential and commercial building supplies. From lumber to Benjamin Moore paints, DeWalt tools, custom millwork, doors, and more. Looking for something specific? Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to make sure you find the products you need to complete your home projects. Pay a visit today to Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop on Clinton Street in Athens and online at purcelllumberandmillshop.com. Or for questions, give us a call at 256-232-6320. Purcell Lumber and Mill Shop in Athens, where builders, remodelers, and home improvement specialists come to shop.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
Remember being in your favorite sport clips getting set for that great MVP haircut experience? Yeah. How about if we made that wait even shorter? Now, with Sport Clips On Deck text alerts, when you check in online or with our app, we'll text you a 15-minute heads up when it's time to head in. And when you're the next man up, you'll get another text to come take your seat. Less wait time, more prime time. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, your big, beautiful, bearded host. New website link, boomerandbeard.com. Spell out the word and, boomerandbeard.com. It'll be easier, be a lot easier. You're going to be able to email each and every one of us at our name at boomerandbeard.com. So we'll make it easy for you to communicate with us. So be sure you check that out. Make sure you get on the podcast. Make sure you get on the live stream, so on and so forth. Let me tell you guys about MyPillow. MyPillow is they're giving away pillows. I mean, they're more or less giving them away. $29.99, $40 off their original price. All you have to do is go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use promo code BEARD at checkout to get your MyPillow for $29.99, $5 more for a king size pillow. It is yeah, a pretty good deal right there. Don't forget that promo code BEARD also gets you a deep, deep discount on everything on their website. So you can get anything on the MyPillow site for great prices by going to mypillow.com radio specials. Use promo code BEARD at checkout. Joining us this morning from the land of the commies, right outside of the Capitol. How far is Fairfax from D.C.? Well, you're 20 minutes.
Well, I'm in Ashburn actually, but it's
can't hide money.
25 minutes. It's probably 15 or 20 miles. It's not far at all. It's not far at all. A couple of my friends asked me. They were like, "Did you go downtown?" And I was like, "Why would I go downtown?"
I was supposed to be there, Ronald. I was going to look you up.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you really going to come?
I was indeed going to come.
So we were driving back from Texas, and we definitely saw a lot of people that were up here or coming up this way, on 81, coming up this way to be in that rally. So, yeah, man, I've been listening to y'all's show today. I mean, it's a mess. It's a hot mess.
It's a heavy day. It's a heavy day. Emotions are running high. We're all running on high Tesla. We're on high octane gas.
It's a good team building exercise.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, you're definitely gonna build some resiliency within your team. Make mistakes, having to apologize to people. Because people, look, we're gonna say things we don't love, and it's just an emotional day, and so it is. We've given the people the opportunity. It's funny. How do you do a show on a day like today? How do you laugh and joke and make light of a situation that there's no way around? There's no levity in it at all, except for maybe Davy Crockett on acid. That guy's pretty some levity in that guy.
Yeah, how can you get upset about a guy who doesn't understand timing? And then we have to figure out the timing and appropriateness of stuff we say too. So,
yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I think that kind of driving. I was in Texas for a week and a half, just visiting family, and then driving back up here, just kind of, I don't know, even seeing. I always find it interesting seeing the change in people at every truck stop you stop at, right? Seeing kind of the change in, the signs that are on the side of the road, and then finally getting back up here to Northern Virginia, where my business partner, I mean, he voted more liberally, or he voted liberally, and I voted Trump. So it's just, it's a difference. But, I always come back to the fact of where, and I think you guys have said it before, the majority of Americans are in the middle, man. It's just, and we don't agree with the extremes. And I think you can't say that enough.
It's a challenge, and honestly, I think that this is necessary. Unfortunately, I think what we're seeing 74 million Americans getting it re-engaged in the process on the conservative side that have been. I mean, look, conservatives in Georgia haven't had to get out and vote for years because it's a guarantee, right? And so you're watching people get engaged, and ultimately, we've said it 1,000 times, God is sovereign in this too. And so nobody, we don't condone violence in any capacity. It's just not. That's not who we are as Christians. That's not who we were created to be. And so I find myself just really disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things that I thought as I was listening to some of the things you said. One, I mean, I definitely agree that God is sovereign, but there was many times where I felt in the Bible where Jesus kind of pushed aside politics. Like anytime anybody wanted to get too political, he was like, "That's not what I'm about, man." Like, and so part of me feels like if you are truly upset about, not only the election, but what happened yesterday, maybe even if you're a Christian, maybe your priorities are in the wrong place. It's like, if we're too caught up in this election, like, it's like, yeah, I mean, I want the government to do what I want the government to do. Of course, everybody does. But to a certain degree, I mean, God told us from the get-go, when the Israelites wanted a king, they said, you're going to be sorry. I'll give you a king. I'm going to give you what you want, because you know why? Because God, I don't know if it's a vindictive side or God just wants to laugh sometimes. I don't think that but he is sovereign. He was, and he gave us a king, and we took government. Government is man-made. People need to realize that. So if you're a Christian, man, like I don't know, and you're upset about what happened yesterday. I mean, that's cool. I'll love you either way, and I'm not too broken up about it either way, but maybe your priorities are in the wrong place too, and I think we all need to recheck our priorities.
Sandee, you have something?
It also goes back to free will. God gave us free will to make decisions based on his word. And if we follow through with that free will and we still continue to do what we want to do, then yes, we have the consequences to pay for it. And God says, okay, this is what you asked for. Now, when are you going to repent? When are you going to come back to me? And he gives us free will to do that too. So that's what it boils down to is the fact that we have free will. Not that it was God's design for this to happen, but he gave us free will to make those decisions.
But it also could be, and this is what I struggle with a lot of times, right? Because you're right. I mean, we have been given with the blessing of a democratic republic to call home, and we have not just a right, but a responsibility to be involved in this process, and our free will dictates in a lot of cases who becomes the elected leaders. But at the same time, God is absolutely capable of making this happen, right? And so there's a part of me that never like, I don't know if the situation we're in as a country was something we chose with our free will, or if in this situation it's something that God instilled to teach us a lesson, because both are capable. Like, he's capable of both, and both have a historic precedent, right? And so I struggle with that, because you're absolutely right, Sandee. I mean, we vote, and our vote decides, but also God has the ability to throw out our vote and install whoever he wants as the leader of this country. And
well, all of us here are parents.
Yeah.
I mean, Ronald and Sandee and you and Zach.
I wouldn't say I'm a good one, but I am one.
Well, I mean, as I've gotten older, I guess Ronald, how old are your children?
I don't remember. No, they're 13, 15, 13, and 10.
So you're in that boat. Zach's got younger kids. Sandee's had some older. I think that you start to understand your relationship with Jesus more when you get into the older kids, because it's like, I look at my kids now, that, Timothy, the 14-year-old, and it's like, he may not know he needs me, but he needs me. And there's times where I step back and he goes, I got this. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Get it, big dog.
I'll let you,
I'll let you go forward. And then
call me tomorrow.
It's funny how that relationship kind of plays out, because, you see when the true love is, because he'll call me and go, or he's with his mom or whatever, and he'll message me and he'll say, Dad, I need your insight. And that's where I know, like, okay, he's still plugged in, and I think that's what we got to look at is, we know God knows we need him, but he's going to sit back and go, only you can decide when you need me.
Let's go to a break. Ronald, stay with us for one more segment. You're listening to Boomer and the Beard. It is a rough morning for Patriots all over the country, and a disappointing day for a lot of people across the world who look to this country as a beacon. So we're just kind of chopping through that. 866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. Give us a call. Give us your opinion. Let out your emotion, whatever it is. This show's all about you today. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Steve! Oh, sorry. I have sleep apnea and my machine isn't set up.
It's the third time this week you've napped at your desk. I use AeroCare and was set up the very next day.
I've been waiting a week for someone to call.
AeroCare is amazing, and now I sleep like a baby, just not at work.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
Are you tired? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue, neuropathy, or joint pain? Call Madison Integrative Medicine. Our amazing staff will provide an individualized patient experience focused on your overall health to treat the cause, not just the problem. Utilizing both traditional and natural medicine. Don't let the symptoms become overwhelming. Treat them preventatively with Madison Integrative Medicine on Slaughter Road in Madison. Call 256-325-0955. That's 325-0955.
If your computer stopped working, your business will grind to a standstill. This is Zach Walker, your big, beautiful bearded host. For my friends over at Simple Helix, the cost of a full-time IT department is really just unreasonable. Call Simple Helix today at 256-975-4758. They never take a vacation and cost far less than a full-time employee or staff. This new normal we live in has us working from home and remoting in all the time, so 24-hour support is more important than ever. Reliable and safe access for you and your employees doesn't get more simple than Simple Helix. 256-975-4758. That's 975-4758. Tell them the Beard sent you.
Where Alabama talks. WVNN. Depend on it.
18 minutes past the hour. Boomer and the Beard back with you this morning. On a relatively heavy morning, we watched the Republic crumble into, 2020 said, hold my beer and watch this, and 2021 happened. So, we're only 5 days in, and here we go again. Here we go again on our own.
I'm telling you, I said it during the break. The Rona caused this.
Yeah, it's all the Rona's fault.
Because we need to be out cheering for football teams, basketball teams, yelling at fictitious characters, mascots, or whatever. We don't need to be locked up inside with ourselves.
Alternative Medicine of Madison, proud sponsor of Boomer and the Beard. 625-325-0955. I've dealt with many injuries, surgeries. I've dealt with an opioid addiction. I've dealt with all kinds of things trying to deal with the pain that's associated with the amount of surgeries that I've had in my short life. And when I went to see Dr. Gilliam for my inflammation IV, it changed my life, and I mean that for real. So give them a call today or check them out online, alternativemedicinemadison.com. They're on Slaughter Road in Madison, 256-325-0955. Dr. Gilliam and his team are the best. I saw them on Tuesday, and they're great. So give them a call. Tell them the Beard sent you. We're so thankful that you guys work with our sponsors and support our people. Again, boomerandbeard.com. Spell out the word and. New website, new email address is coming so that you can contact each and every one of us as you see fit. Joining us this morning is Ronald from the teeth of the beast. The belly of the beast? The teeth of the beast, whatever. You know what I meant. He's up there with old Ralphie Northam.
The teeth of the beast.
He is the beast in general. And so he joins us this morning. As
I do CrossFit.
Yes, he does. He is a beast, for sure. You should have been at the Capitol. You could have probably toted out a lot more stuff than most people.
No, man, I'm a very unviolent person. I would have got beaten up or something. I don't know. It would not have been good. I can't stand getting hit. Like
if you would have taken Steve Cogdo with you, you'd have been good.
Oh my gosh, that guy gets into fights just for other people to kind of jump in.
Yeah, because Lord knows he can't finish what he starts.
No, he cannot. But he's funny. He has a lot of good one-liners.
Yeah, and it's for those of you listening, they're like, who in the world is he talking about? It's one of my roommates from back in the day in college that is now a good friend of Ronald. Small world, how everything ties together. I'll put that picture out of me and Steve and one of our other buddies, Steve, standing in the middle. He weighs 105 pounds, soaking wet. He's 6'5", 6'4", something like that. He's tall.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, no,
his nickname in college, I think, was Holocaust, which is horrible.
Wow, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, not me. That was a good one, though. That was a good one.
Oh, Lord.
Anybody
want a dad joke?
Yeah, sorry. That was my bad.
How does a penguin build its house?
How?
It glues it together.
Oh, gosh. You know those things on YouTube where they bring two people together and they say dad jokes until the other one laughs?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I want. That's what I should have just started doing as soon as we walked in. Just started just reading dad jokes just till I got everybody broken down.
Well, I did post a meme yesterday that was pretty. It had a bunch of levity in it, and it was I've used the joke 3 times this morning, but Tommy Tuberville is sworn in at the Capitol, and the Capitol its defense immediately falls apart because he's a football coach. See what I did there? And so in the state of Alabama, the Alabama-Auburn rivalry, obviously very heated. That meme has been shared 25 times overnight, and so I definitely trying to add levity to the situation because ultimately, and here's the other part that I want to address while we got Ronald on the line with us here. But if you watched what was going on yesterday and condemned the violence, yet when Portland was burning to the ground or when Minneapolis was burning to the ground, you said, well, they're frustrated. I don't condone their violence, but I get it. I understand it. You, sir or ma'am, are a hypocrite. If you were posting yesterday, well, if these protesters were black, they would be gunned down by Capitol Police. You are a racist because that also is not true. If you can't be consistent, to me, you lose your right to speak, and I have nothing to say to you because it's impossible to argue with someone who is incapable of being consistent. You could not both condemn yesterday's violence and sit idly by while Minnesota burned to the ground or Portland burned to the ground. And everyone that said, oh, well, there was an army of people at the Capitol when Black Lives Matter marched. I'm sorry? Black Lives Matter was allowed to burn down an entire city, and the police were told to withdraw from the precinct. They literally stole a precinct, a police precinct, and police were forced to withdraw.
And celebrities paid to get them out of jail.
Yes, millions of dollars.
They also have their own autonomous zone where they
Correct.
could, over in Oregon. I mean, they were allowed to do that for I don't even know if that's still going on.
No, it's not.
And I think we would all agree we're Republicans or somewhere like near that had voted for Trump, yet everyone that broke into the Capitol building should be arrested. Would you agree with that?
By the letter of the law, sure.
Yeah.
Logistically, probably not.
Yeah. I think they should just be arrested.
You know what, Zach? One of the things that I've been thinking about too is, it doesn't come down to being a hypocrite. It comes down to me. I think it comes down to not being able to walk a mile in somebody else's shoes and truly try to understand where they're coming from. Because, while what you say is absolutely or has some truth to it, I don't know if I'd say it's absolutely true, but it definitely has some truth to it. You have to then go back to how you were thinking back when that Black Lives Matter stuff was happening too, and ask yourself too, okay, was I a hypocrite back then? Now that the shoe's on the other foot, was I telling those guys that, hey, there's a better way to do this, and you're just always, kind of holier than thou in how you, not you personally.
No, I get that.
You have to go back and ask yourself, and that's one of the things that, pat myself on the back, I think I'm good at, in certain ways. And one of the reasons I play devil's advocate so well is because I truly think that there is no one right way, when it comes to politics. There is no one right way in a lot of things, and if you want to say that there's there's never a right way, because it's all wrong, because we're all biased, and take, I don't want to say take God out of it, but, take the Christian element out of it for just a second. Like, anybody that thinks that they're right, it's like, you're not, I've come to the mindset too, where it's just where we're all wrong. So it's just, maybe it's just a level of wrongness.
Well, the beauty of being a talk show host whose show is archived and put on a podcast every single day is it's absolutely easy to go back and see if I've been consistent, if I've been a hypocrite, if I've been whatever. And I would be, someone feel free to, Connor will absolutely correct me if he doesn't think that I'm being honest here. But when those riots were happening, my response was similar to what it is today. I was sad. I was disappointed. I condemn those who stormed the Capitol yesterday. I don't think that was right either. And so, it's being able to take the agenda out of it and just evaluate the act, the deed, the person, whatever, not the agenda. It's not okay for it to be okay if they're on your team and then not if they're on someone else's. And that's what I think we struggle with. And so I think
it's a huge struggle.
I think on this show we have been consistent. I don't think there's an inconsistency among what we say. Does anyone disagree, Connor? Have you seen inconsistency? Do we stay fairly consistent across the board?
More or less.
See,
sure.
More or less. I'll take more or less. Sure.
That was a yes, no. 100.
Good job, 16-year-old.
17. He's 17.
No, he's 16. He's always 16 for me.
Oh, sweet 16.
So, no, I agree with you. I've listened to a lot of y'all shows. I think there's definitely a lot of consistency, but I think that everybody just needs to do it.
Do a self-evaluation. Absolutely.
So, and it gets back to everybody talks about love and love one another, and all that stuff. But I really think when people talk about that, it's starting to drive me nuts, because it's just like, some of these people don't know what the first thing about love. And I would say that, sometimes I don't think I know the first thing about love. And it's always a constant battle to try to figure out, okay, what is true love? How did God love us? How did Jesus love us? Are you willing to die? If you're on the other side, am I willing to die for a Black Lives Matter person? And is a Black Lives Matter person willing to die for one of the people that stormed the castle yesterday? And 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, the answer is no. And until you can get to that point and truly say that, you're probably inconsistent and you're probably hypocritical.
Storming the castle. I like it. I like it, Ronaldo.
Gates.
What you got any big plans for the weekend, buddy?
I probably plan on buying these $800 Gucci shoes that are already worn down for me. So if any of your listeners have about $1,000 to spend, that's probably what I'm going to do. That's what we do up here in the Northern Virginia, where we make a ton of money. We just pay $1,000 for dirty tennis shoes and upside down sunglasses.
I love it.
I'm disappointed.
I know you're just like, what do I even say to that?
I don't
know.
know.
He's consistent.
Hey, give us a goat, please. We need the goat this morning. Back away from your mic a little bit. There you go. It never gets old. We all needed that this morning.
That's
Sandee, are you laughing?
Yesterday.
I'm answering phone calls.
Oh, she's answering phone calls.
She's loading up
my
phone
bad.
calls.
Loading up the phone calls. 866-494-9866 is what we'll do next segment. We'll play a little radio roulette. 866-494-WVNN, old18.com hotline. Ronald, thank you so much, buddy.
See you guys.
We love you. Be safe. The Boomer and Beard show returns after these messages. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat. This is News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. News starts now.
Hours after a violent pro-Trump mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, the president issued a statement promising an orderly transition of power on January 20th, that following official certification of the election by the Electoral College and congressional declaration that Joe Biden won. During the chaos yesterday, the incoming president called it an assault on the rule of law, and he put the blame squarely on President Trump for not calling the protesters off sooner. Here's ABC's Megan Terbrizian.
Some things that could be to blame for the chaos: the large number of people that rushed the Capitol may have been too many for police to handle. Rioters also came prepared with pepper spray and tactical gear. Plus, there was pushback from President Trump on calling in the National Guard. By the time police regained control, the Senate Parliamentarian's office was destroyed. Windows were shattered, and officers had uncovered Molotov cocktails, bombs, and a long gun. The House is now launching an investigation to find out how and why things went so wrong.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
As you know, our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of their life. He didn't stop at the MyPillow. Let me tell you something. I just got my Giza Dream bed sheets, and they are unbelievable. Mike found this cotton called Giza cotton. It's incredibly soft, super breathable, extremely durable, 60-day money back, that same money back guarantee, that same 10-year warranty that you have on that MyPillow you love so much. The first night you sleep on the Giza sheets, you will never want anything else. Let me tell you something. My son, he's 4. He knows the difference. He knows the difference. He said, "Daddy, where are those soft sheets that Mr. Mikey sent me?" I said, "Don't worry, kid, I got you." Pulled them out of the dryer, put them on there. Listen, you right now have a special offer. You will receive 2 for 1 low price and free shipping on the Giza Dream Sheets if you call 1-800-889-7318 or go to mypillow.com/radio specials. Use the promo code BEARD. Again, mypillow.com, radio specials, promo code BEARD.
You don't need a diet. That's work. You don't need a stylist. They're overrated. And you don't need to hang out with older or fatter people just to seem better in comparison either. All you need are these masters of video production. They'll make you look good.
Make your videos look good with Cotton Row Productions, the official live stream provider of Hometown Heartbeat and The Dale Jackson Show. We can handle events, church live streams, and your digital advertising. Call Cotton Row Productions today, 256-289-7355. That's 289-7355.
You have heard of all kinds of privilege: white privilege, male privilege, wealth privilege. Well, there's something called emergency diploma privilege for lawyers. A bill before the New York State Legislature would allow law school graduates to go straight to law practice without bothering to take the bar exam. What's the emergency? The coronavirus. New York State still officially under a declared COVID-19 disaster emergency. September is when the next New York State bar exam is supposed to take place. But that's too soon. There still might be some corona germs lingering in September, and these young, healthy, future lawyers can't possibly risk taking the bar exam in person. So liberal New York State legislators are coming to the rescue. They say that as long as these prospective lawyers have good character and display general fitness to be a lawyer, an attorney, then screw the bar exam. These grads can just be declared lawyers. And standards plummet again. Just get rid of everything that makes it hard, make it easy. Who needs exams at all, by the way? Who cares if you pass or fail these days? Just get your trophy, start earning big bucks, lawyers helping lawyers. It's just amazing to watch what's happening in our country with the liberal left in charge of it. Everything's being destroyed.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
4.
Dan, where you been?
Well, it's hard to golf with bulky oxygen tanks, so I went to AeroCare and got a lightweight portable oxygen concentrator that I wear like a backpack.
Wow. Does insurance cover it?
They sure do. AeroCare called my insurance, and I had my machine the next day. I'm as free as a bird, or birdie.
AeroCare specializes in all respiratory equipment. If you have sleep apnea or are in need of oxygen, let AeroCare set you up. Call 256-469-3900. Let us help you breathe a little easier.
The Dale Jackson Show, weekday mornings only on WVNN.
Doom, 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 doom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Is this that same group that does the Christmas songs? Oh, different person.
Oh, that sounds like Kermit the Frog. Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker.
I see Sandee smiling, so I knew I picked the right song.
Your big bearded host, Sandee.
I got her.
Sandee.
I got her. And the dad joke got you, too. You just had your mic down, turned down.
Sandee.
Yes.
I'm winning.
Don't worry. Be happy.
All the time.
Sandee, I'm sorry.
For what?
For disagreeing with you. What's the word?
Well, don't be sorry
rudely.
for disagreeing
No.
with me.
Not for disagreeing. For disagreeing with you in a way that wasn't conducive to a discussion.
We were at the end of a break, so it didn't matter.
No, I know, but I don't like it when we get on opposite sides of one another. It's not fun. So this is my apology.
Well, it's going to happen. It's life.
I know, but then when you just shut down for the rest of the show, it's my fault, and I need to be better than that. I need to be. This is a legitimate apology. Just accept it.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I had nothing to chime in about.
I know, but we're both very emotional people. And we're both very opinionated people, and even though I don't typically speak my mind, apparently this morning I'm kidding. Of course, I always speak my mind.
Really? I was about to say, don't
She's
know
like,
who you are right
different
now.
Zach? Or no. So 866-494-9866. See, people, that's how you can have a disagreement, and it'll all work out in the end. It's okay it's good to disagree. If you have nobody in your life you disagree with, you live a very dangerous life. I'll put it that way. Echo chambers are dangerous for everybody. So we got the phones lighting up. 866-494-9866. Join us this morning. Let's work through. Tell us about how that makes you feel. Let's go to Kenny on line one. Kenny, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Zach. I just wanted to chime in and
announced that Napoleon Bonaparte said that he would gladly sacrifice 30,000 men to win a battle. And I always had a hope that Donald Trump would not be quite the same as that, but he proved yesterday that he is. He will throw anybody under the bus. He will absolutely sacrifice anyone for his own political well-being. And to me, yesterday, even though I supported Trump for all 4 years, yesterday he proved that he cannot be trusted, and he has absolutely destroyed any hope for a run in 24 or for any political future after this.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, Kenny. I disagree that he threw people under the bus, but here's what I do think he did, and what I think we would agree on. I think by acting the way he acted yesterday, he really did alienate a handful, a decent number of his supporters that said, like Clay and I just said earlier. I mean, I wish he would have handled it differently.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would have very quickly distanced himself from it. I think he could have acted differently yesterday and had a different outcome. I would disagree that he threw. How do you think he threw people under the bus? When you say that, what do you mean?
Well, he essentially sacrificed Mike Pence yesterday. He threw Mike Pence to the wolves and basically tried to order him to discount the electoral vote. And Pence refused to do so, which is absolutely the right thing to do. Pence did the right thing. He did what a vice president normally should do. And, throughout this presidency, even during COVID, I kept expecting Trump to have some kind of FDR after Pearl Harbor moment, some kind of George W. Bush after 9/11 moment where he really led the country and rallied us and united us. He never could do that, and he never even tried.
That I don't disagree with. I think that, well, thanks for the call, Kenny. I think you and I would find ourselves disagreeing on some of the points that you made, but I will agree with you on this point. If Donald Trump could, and I think we said it to start the show off, if Donald Trump could have just been a little nicer, or a little less angry all the time, or a little less whatever, he could have done a lot more damage. He could have had 80+ million votes. Just Mama called it couth, right? Just that being mean or whatever and I don't think he was mean necessarily, but he was perceived that way. He didn't have a very good.
He called the nuts. If you want to know what he did, he called the nuts, and that's what he did. He was not acting like a politician. He was not acting like a person that had ultimate power. He was acting like you and me, and when he was sick of something, he would tell people about it. Yeah. Yes, was that wrong for a political person to do that? Absolutely. But it is no different than you and I when we get upset about something that is going on, and I totally disagree with Kenny. Like, I think that he has lost his ever-loving mind because he's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
you're right.
He did not call. Pence did not. Yes, Pence might have made the correct decision. I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I have not looked to see if that's exactly what the case was. But no, he did not do right by the country. He did not do right by the whole thing. And the whole comment about Trump saying, I love you, like, that was not to be in the face of people. He was not sitting there saying, oh, these people who came and attacked the White House, that was fantastic. I love you guys. Thank you so much. No, that's not what he said. He was saying, I love you, but we need to have peace.
Yeah, but
that's what it was saying.
Sandy, and what I think what everybody's saying in that is it just the timing didn't go well with the conversation. I think anyone, like right now, Joe Biden, the 46th president of the United States, has a very difficult task. Mm-hmm. Just like Donald Trump had a very difficult task when he started in. I don't think as a president you're not going to win over the country if you just fire up your base.
Yes. I think we would agree with what you're saying, Sandy. Yeah. I think what we're saying is he didn't measure how it would be received, and if he wanted, he could have accomplished what he wanted to accomplish and not alienate. By acting the way he acted, he alienated a portion of a base that would have probably voted for him. And so, yeah, I mean, if that's how he wanted to act, I don't have any problem with how he acted. I think that you're right. I mean, he spoke his mind, and he was the most transparent president in history. I believe that. But what, by doing it the way that he did it, it impacted it impacted his votability.
His timing sucked.
Awful.
And Joe Biden, I know he listens to our show on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And,
what's up, Sleepy Joe?
And I think
I'm from Scranton.
If he is listening,
Joe Biden is a BSer. All he's going to do is just feed you the crap that he wants you to hear, and that's it.
And here's the thing, but if he
he's
does,
not going to follow through with anything.
If he does, which I kind of agree with you, there's going to be. If he does, then we're going to be more divided than ever. If people want to come out and say we need a president that's more presidential and whatever, they're going to have to come out and say, I'm not firing up a base right now. I'm not going to come out and give everything that the Democrats want day one, because that's just going to tick off everybody that, it's just, I hope that there is some timing where someone as a president, and Connor, we talked about, he has not seen this. In my days, Ronald Reagan, George Bush after 9/11, at some moments in his presidential career, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama at certain points in his time, Trump in certain points. They had moments where they said, you know what, I'm speaking to Americans. I'm not speaking to
Democrats or
anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now, we're good people. And the majority of us are good people, and there are certain people that are, going to just completely try to destroy. And they're going to be the antagonist, and they're going to be the people that divide us all the time. No matter what we do.
Let's go to line 3. Let's talk to Jeff. Jeff on line 3. What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, good morning, folks. Now, I didn't tune in until about 6:15, so I don't know if y'all went over this or not. I saw something. It was people dressed in helmets, backpacks at the start of the event. Has anyone thought that Antifa infiltrated and was the one who started all this chaos?
Yeah, we definitely think that is at play here. That is definitely something that is on the table without question. I mean, Davy Crockett on acid, that big fella, he is a well-known Antifa activist. He is. If you go do a little digging on him, I mean, his social media profiles are blatant, and his tattoos are so distinct that it's impossible to say it was somebody else. And so, there's no doubt about it that it was instigated in part by agitators from the left that, again, we believe that this was the most devastating thing that could happen to Donald Trump, that there could not be a more devastating death blow to him than what happened. Well, who would want to perpetrate that upon him more so than the left? And so, I definitely think that is a possibility, if not a likelihood. So 866-494-9866 if you want to join us. The phones are ringing. We would love to hear from you this last segment of Boomer and the Beard. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Hometown Heartbeat.
Got you covered. Screen printing and embroidery in Athens. Our team is here to help you with custom printed t-shirts that you want. And we know that means quality. At Got You Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery, we focus on the highest quality and the fastest turnaround time possible. Got You Covered Screen Printing and Embroidery on West Sandifer Road in Athens. Call to make an appointment with our graphic designer. She's awesome. 256-444-4500. That's 444-4500. And online at GotYouCoveredAthens.com.
There's nothing like the peace and serenity that you get while fishing. Invest in the rod you deserve. Old 18 is a veteran-owned company operated by a U.S. Navy SEAL and Top Gun fighter pilot, breaking the mold of the fishing industry. At Old 18, we offer high-quality products with a 25-year master rod builder behind every rod. We offer a no-nonsense, hassle-free warranty we stand in front of so you don't get left behind. Shop old18.com and type in the code BEARD for a 20% discount.
This is Mike 4 years ago. This is Mike having the same conversation with Debbie just last month. And today, he's at it again.
What's that, Mike?
I said our house is still underwater.
How do you know? Have you had it appraised lately?
Oh, well, no.
Has the coronavirus made your life less financially stable? Are you worried about your next mortgage payment? Reed's Family REI is a family-based real estate investing company ready to buy your house for cash in any area or condition and close in 2 weeks. You don't have to fix it up. There's no agent fees, and we handle the closing costs. Selling a home can be very stressful, and Wyatt Reed and his team at Reed's Family REI will put together the best possible offer for your specific needs. Sell your home fast with Reed's Family REI. 931-292-2875. That's 931-292-2875. And online at reedsfamilyrei.org. Reed's Family REI. Creative real estate experts for all your buying or selling needs.
For up-to-the-minute news, log on to WVNN.com. Depend on it.
Welcome back, Boomer and the Beard. I am Zach Walker, the big, bold, beautiful, bearded host. 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Dale Jackson will be joining you next to take you all the way in for the afternoon. So, boomerandbeard.com. Boomer and, spell out the word and, beard.com is the new link to the website. Be sure to get by there. Check it out. We want to welcome Hannah Ruth Lashley to the show. She is joining the team as director of brand partnerships and promotions, and so she started this week. She'll be joining us on air next week just to introduce herself and say hello to Radio World. So we're super excited about that. Again, this morning we don't really know what to do, and so we've just been listening to you guys and talking to you, and we want to continue that. So if you would like to join us, 866-494-9866, 866-494-WVNN. I think Carrie wins caller of the day for me.
I got teared up. That really got me.
Just the rawness and realness of how it feels. I will never forget 9/11 and the days that followed. As I lived in the Fairfax, Virginia, 15 miles outside of D.C., my father was supposed to be in the Pentagon that day. Turned out he was at the Naval Yard, and so I spent most of the day trying to make sure my dad, of course, service was disastrous, but I'll never forget, I was in Miss Baker's science class at Chantilly High School, where my mother was able to get a call in, and they got it directed to each room had a phone in it, and they got it directed to our room, and I was able to confirm with my mother that my dad was okay. But I will never forget, and I still tear up. 9/11 is still I lost one of the greatest men I've ever known as a result of 9/11. It played on September the 11th, the best of, where I spoke with his widow. Bob Roth was a FBI agent that was one of the first responders on the scene that day. He ended up contracting cancer from the chemicals and all the things that were present at the wreckage site, and watching our country come together and throw division out the door, and unite as Americans in a moment of absolute conflict and tragedy is something that to this day makes me weep like a baby. Just watching Sammy Sosa hit a home run, grab that flag, and run around the bases with the American flag in his hand, by the way, not even from this country, but understands the opportunity that was afforded to him to be here in this country. We live in the greatest country on the face of planet Earth, and that has not changed in the last 48 hours or the last 18 months. And it won't change in the next 5 months, the next 4 years, the next 8 years. We will continue to live in the greatest country on the planet. What I would tell you is this: if your hope or your identity or your mood or your whatever it is tied up in who you are as an American, who you are as a citizen of this country, you are missing the boat. Hope comes only from God Almighty and a personal relationship with Him. And so I would encourage you to, like Carrie said, fall on your face and worship a holy God. Pray if your worldview is the same as ours. Sandee's been saying it from day one. What this world needs is prayer, and she is spot on there, because the only way out of this is with God. And so let's go to Devin on line 2. If you want to join us, 866-494-9866. Devin, go ahead, buddy.
Hey, man. I'm really not. I'm trying to keep from going out of the conspiracy theory, but I'm also really not buying that.
Well, let it rip, Devin. Let it rip. Bring your best conspiracy. I mean, bring it in here, man. We're with you. Let it rip.
I'm not buying that all of our electors were in the Capitol building and it was stormed by unarmed people and only one shot was fired.
Have you ever been to the Capitol, Devin?
I have not.
Okay, so let me speak from experience. It is the most heavily guarded place. Boomer was there with Mo Brooks at a. You were fortunate enough to take a tour. Yeah, with Mo, and I think the exact quote was, "My sphincter was tight."
Yes.
It is the most heavily guarded, one of the most heavily guarded buildings in the world. Yeah. So I 100% don't know how that happened. I did see a video of Capitol Police opening the gate and letting people walk through. Something about it doesn't feel good.
Right.
I'm with you. I don't want to go full-blown Alex Jones here, but I'm just looking at the facts, and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and one thing that we got to look at, I think that the only way we can move forward, I went through a Bible study at church with my wife called Love and Respect. Mm-hmm. And they talked about how, like in relationships,
need a lot of that
you can
right
get
now.
on the crazy cycle.
Yeah.
Okay. And usually the crazy cycle has to stop. But it talks about love and respect, that women feel loved feel respected when they're loved, and men feel loved when they're respected. And if there's a constant cycle, it goes through. Like if you don't love your spouse, she's not going to give you the respect, which that's the respect that you need to feel like a man. So you don't love her out of paying her back, and it just goes on this crazy cycle. And you have to stop the crazy cycle. I think in this situation, we can't focus on what happened, what started this.
Yeah.
It's like we have to break the crazy cycle and go, that's all irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do
we
from
talk
here?
about the generational curse. There's all kinds of cycles in life. Let's talk to Pete on line 3. Pete says he's recently back from Washington. So, Pete, you were in Washington yesterday.
Well, I'm actually on the road returning from Washington, so
Okay.
I've been on the road for about an hour. So if I drop out, sorry about that cell phone service.
You got about 11 more to go, Pete. Hang in there.
My takeaway is thank you. If you've ever been to a Trump rally, it's very inspirational, uplifting, and that's how the first half was. As we were approaching the Capitol, we were hearing flash bangs. There was explosions going on. We had no clue what was going on, but you make friends at these events. And we looked at each other. We were trying to brainstorm and figure it out. We had no clue, but we kept approaching the Capitol. As we got there, there seemed to be a presence, and we weren't sure who they were, but they were already up on the steps or trying to take the steps, and we didn't know they're actually trying to break in. So we were just unclear. Most of the crowd did arrive and were at standard. It was pretty much the standard fare patriots, and we were looking at each other, trying to figure out again what's going on. There were provocateurs, and they had gotten some of these elevated I don't know what they would be. I guess where you hold inauguration, all the media on. But anyway, they were trying to wave everybody forward. But the flashbangs and the tear gas was going off. And we said that didn't make sense, nor did we want to storm the Capitol. I mean, so there was a group of people. We didn't know who they were, but they were clearly more aggressive than what we thought they should be. We looked at it and said, no, we want this process to move forward. We're not trying to stop anything that's going on inside the Capitol. So anyway, we had limited cell phone service. Batteries were dying quick. No connectivity. Occasionally somebody get through and we'd get word from the outside. But our common sense took over, and we just knew to stay off the steps, stay out of the tear gas best we could.
Yeah.
But very disappointing. And then I heard mainstream media, as we wrapped up, we safely got back, we had listened to mainstream media, blame this on us. No, it was their people. Yeah. It was their Antifa, and I'm saying that there was facial recognition that existed that proved some of these were the Antifa, a lot of these people, the Antifa, that were becoming violent. And then, furthermore, there was really limited presence. I mean, it was like they were allowing this crap to go on. Yeah. I kept looking how come they can't stop this? I mean, encroaching on the Capitol. Anyway, that's just a rough on sleep deprived, hard to formulate.
Well, it's good to hear. I mean, it's good to hear from somebody that was there, because all we can do is watch thank you for the call. All we can do is watch the news crazies, and ultimately, I would say that we'll wait and the truth will come out. I don't know that it ever will, and that's okay, because right now what we have to do is we have to recenter our relationships and our daily lives on our walk with the Creator and pray that He will make all things new, which He will. Lord, come quickly. We love each and every one of you so much, and we thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for a hopefully much brighter, much more fun, much more normal show. BoomerandBeard.com, spell out the word and. Sandee Lou, producer Connor, love you guys. Have a great day.
WVNN Athens, WVNN FM Trinity, a Cumulus station.